everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hornbill Podcast, featuring Hornbill and starring Hornbill. And actually, it's all of Hornbill this time. Ryan is joining me. Today's guest is the, I'm going to freaking blow you up with compliments real quick. The innovative, the incredibly talented, the just outstanding, incredible Pulses. How are you guys?
Blessed.
We're great.
I'm good.
Feel better now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to embarrass myself real quick, and since the day I found you guys, I have been calling you Pulses, period. And it's taken me a bit to get out of that habit. Can you give me some, or enlighten me what that period is, and if it's more of a statement than it is anything?
You got it, Kevin?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, first, it's cool that you call us that. I don't mind it at all. Like, it kind of sounds way cooler than what it actually should be. But the period comes from Let Live. Their period. So we're heavily influenced by Let Live, and like whether that be like in sound, but it's more in just like attitude and just positioning in the scene and everything. So we were like, yeah, let's take their period and kind of just show that, you know, we're kind of showing homage. Yeah, it's a statement in a way.
Statement. I get it. Okay, cool. So, I did my best to not say Pulses, period, but it is, just for my reference, it is just Pulses.
Yeah. It is. But it's good that you remember the period because it is important. Like,
I mean, most people don't.
Panic at the Disco's exclamation point, or Blink 182's lowercase with the dash, you know, like you gotta put it there.
Yeah, we're just normal. We have a capital H, and everything else is.
We should add punctuation to ours.
That's what we do. What's the little squiggle? We'll do.
Oh, the tilde.
Tilde. Here, tilde Hornbill. It just sounds like a grandmother. Okay, so I'm very happy to have you guys on because I Speak Less. I'm just gonna start with the most recent. Is awesome. Speak Less is it's innovative and it's I don't know. It's just a lot of fucking energy, and I love it.
Appreciate it.
I know you guys have been playing for a while, so I'm kind of gonna try and walk through what I think is your discography, if you're okay with that. So,
cool.
Very first thing, the EP Function. Is that correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I went on a deep dive through your YouTube today and saw some just little kids playing music, and I love it. So then after Function, Function is very bare bones, but it's still very Pulses. It's I don't know, Fall of Troy inspired, very it just had very Seattle-y post-hardcore stuff. Yeah,
definitely.
That's a vibe.
Fall of Troy was definitely a huge influence. I mean, still is. Especially at that time, you know, trying to figure out our identity. I mean, always trying to figure out identity still, of course, but early on, especially for me with Thomas Eric, you know, being a vocalist, guitarist, and that was kind of like the main inspiration besides me trying to do the same. So
I spoke to Turner from Little Geronimo last week, and he gave me the perfect I guess the term for it, which would be Thomas Eric syndrome. And I know I suffer from it, he suffers from it, and I'm going to assume that you suffer from it too.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like watching that man do it like that. It's just like, you know, made me realize, oh, you know, we can actually do that. You can be a good singer and wild out on guitar too. So
yeah, there is nobody better than that man.
For real.
Yeah. I need to see him play in like one of his own bands still, because I've only seen him play in Chiodos and Roll Coda, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah. But I've never seen
you're missing out.
Funny enough, I was gonna say, like, funny enough, I saw on my Facebook memories, we saw the Fall of Troy 5 years ago today.
Oh, that's nice.
Dude, okay, so this, I guess it wouldn't have been 5 years ago. So we're also from, well, I guess we're in Salt Lake now, but Ryan grew up in Maryland, and I lived in Baltimore for a while, so we're familiar with the Maryland DMV scene. I remember seeing Fall of Troy with, I think, Coheed and Cambria at the DC venue.
9:30.
9:30
Yeah,
Club.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Maybe 2007 or 2008. Would you guys have been there?
Unfortunately,
No.
not.
No.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, it's funny. Like, I think this is like a, I don't know, not necessarily a point of contention, but just like an interesting thing. We weren't really, like, at least me and Caleb weren't really like scene heads until like, I don't know when.
2011.
Like 2011. Like,
Okay.
so we didn't really like, not that we didn't like.
You guys
dislike
are still
it.
younger though, too, right?
Well, they are. I'm 30. Like,
Okay.
You know,
I'm
it's like I could have
32.
been into it, but you know, it's like hip hop was my love. I wasn't really like into a whole lot of like rock stuff until like 2007, maybe.
Okay.
So it was just, you know, I'm like, okay, Linkin Park is my gateway because I love rap and everything, so it just makes sense. And then I didn't really get into like scene shit, maybe like post-hardcore until like 2010, 2011. So
Okay.
late, but like still appreciative of like everything that I missed during
Sure.
that time.
Dude, Linkin Park is one of the best gateway,
100%.
gateway drugs, gateway bands for heavy music in general, whether it's death metal, hardcore, post-hardcore. Like they're just so multifaceted and just. I don't know. I love new metal and like Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, just that whole spectrum of music there. I mean, led me to hardcore, death metal, grindcore. So
I feel like Linkin Park has something that can pull like anybody in. Like they have something for
absolutely.
everybody. Like if you just like pop music and that's it, then you'll like Minutes to Midnight for the most part. If you like heavy stuff, you'll like certain records. Like if you like hip hop,
100%.
you'll like other records. Like I don't know, they can really just, and then you can jump off from there into like literally anything. Because it was the same. Like I kind of had the opposite. Like they got me more into like hip hop when I was more into like metal and stuff before.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to your discography, but just because we're kind of talking about it, have you guys played in bands before Pulses?
I've had a
Not
few.
us.
Yeah.
Matt has.
I had two really bad high school bands, one sort of okay high school band, and then I played in a band in college for a little bit, and then that was when I met them through playing in those bands, like playing shows with them, and then once I wasn't in those bands anymore, I just kind of they scooped me up.
Where exactly in Virginia are you?
They're in Dumfries. I'm in Fredericksburg.
Yeah, but Northern Virginia.
Yeah.
So closer to DC, yeah?
Yeah, like 30 minutes out.
Okay. Have you ever played it? I think Jax is the name.
Didn't get to play there.
Nah, well, because it got changed to Empire.
Oh, okay.
But
I
then,
played Empire a good amount, but
Yeah.
in previous bands, but that was like right, like it closed like right when you guys started, didn't it?
Pretty
yeah,
much.
because it closed in 2015.
Shows
It's funny enough, like the last show we saw there was Dance Gavin Dance Instant Grat Tour.
Okay.
And that was the second to last show that happened at Jack/Empire.
Okay.
And we literally started the band like a month or two before that.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
yeah, it was like we went to plenty of shows there, but yeah, unfortunately never got to play it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm just a small hope that we've crossed each other's paths at some point in time, but potentially not. I don't know.
It's possible.
Well, like I said, it's just like I mean, at least if you went to Jack's, and I don't know when you said you moved away.
So from when did I move to California? 2015, 2014.
Yeah, I mean, it seems
That's
like
definitely
we
possible.
could have, definitely like at some show, mutual show or something.
Because definitely between 2012 and 2015 until it closed, we were going there like all the time.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Yeah, it was a cool little spot. And it's just called Empire now, same exact place.
It was Empire for a while, and then they closed it, and now it's like a like fancy restaurant. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I've seen pictures of it now, and it's like everything in there before was painted black. Now it's all white and
Interesting.
like it's like an Italian restaurant or something. I've never been in.
And then
but
the alchemy room, right, is a hookah lounge now.
Yeah,
That makes
hookah lounge bar. Yeah, like the little section, the like
Yeah.
backstage section or whatever. Yeah,
Weird.
But yeah, that was like, I feel like that was the last like venue we had that wasn't like in the city, pretty much. And it's
yeah.
like now it's like you either got to go to Baltimore, or DC, or Richmond. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Kevin, you live down the street from it. Like,
Yeah, at the
for a while.
time. hmm
Hmm.
It was like literally not necessarily walking distance, but like 2 miles out. So it
like
was
in
easy
that
to go.
neighborhood right next to it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh. All right, yeah, so back to your discography. So Function was the first EP, and then you started I'm gonna assume you started a trend with remixing your works of music and just did a remix version called FX. Is that correct?
so that one's like
Somewhat.
literally an actual re-record and
Yeah.
remix. So
Okay.
it's funny that you would say that we started then, because it kind of is
Did,
true
yeah.
that we started then, but that
Yeah.
one was like necessity. Do it again. It doesn't sound that good.
Yeah.
Like,
And then in hindsight, of course, funny enough, it still didn't sound that great. But
so that's why we're gonna do it again.
yeah.
Are you gonna do it again?
Like okay, so there's Appetizer, and that got a redone version on our single we'll get to later, I guess. Message is Clear got redone for Bouquet, and You Already Know got
Okay.
redone for Bouquet. So there
Okay.
were 2 songs left from that project that didn't get redone, and we're redoing those now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you very inspired by Fall of Troy taking old songs and refinishing them and putting them on new albums. Okay.
Exactly.
It's
Make
kind
it, make it worth it, honestly, because it's like we
Yeah.
love those songs, but Caleb hates his voice on those.
I literally cannot listen to it. I have not listened to Function probably since 2016. Like, no lie.
we were legit like when we were tracking, like retracking the songs. Like usually when we do vocals, like if it's Caleb and I there, like I'll sit at the computer while he's singing, and then he'll sit at the computer while I'm singing. And I was sitting there, and I was like, "Do you want me to like play the song again so you can hear the melody and stuff?" He's like, "Nope, I won't listen to it. I'm not gonna listen to it." He's like, "I remember it. I don't need to hear it again ever."
So the songs are good. I will say that, but I know what you're saying, and I don't think it's necessarily that your voice is bad. It's just it doesn't fit into the mix well, and it's very upfront, and you can notice every little piece of it. So I get
Yeah,
it.
that the guy that mixed it is, to say the least, he's not good. And we not burn bridges. We just let that go, that relationship go right after we finished it.
I can understand that. So
Yeah.
up next, I'm gonna have to debate you on this too. So Bouquet, which is, would you consider second full length?
First.
First,
Yeah,
I would
first
consider
full length.
first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause
So
Function is an EP to me. Yeah.
yeah.
I noticed you said bouquet earlier, and how dare you? But that's all I have
think
to say.
I think it just comes out like that sometimes.
It
Oh,
does.
wait, who
Yeah.
who did?
I don't know.
was like, I'd never call it bouquet.
Okay.
I think it just sometimes like gets said like that, but yeah, it's supposed to be bouquet.
It's
Hanging out in
tomato,
West
tomato.
Virginia, still you still got that
Not
stuff
me,
in
not
there.
me. I don't.
It happens.
Is it like a bunch of flowers where it's like I say bouquet for a bunch
Yeah,
of flowers,
yeah,
but
bouquet, yeah.
bouquet is like that fancy blur you get from like cameras, like how the background's.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, is it?
I think that's pronounced bouquet.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't know there was another
Yeah.
definition for that
It
word.
doesn't
so.
matter.
That is
There's-
true.
Yeah,
I didn't even
there's
think
some
about
shade
that.
for it.
Might have to start
Alright.
calling it bouquet now.
But yeah, so Bouquet is great. So first full length, you kind of got into your own here. Definitely more influences of hip hop coming along. Definitely more just heavy stuff in general, while still being that post-hardcore-y, dweedly, twinkly, normal guitar.
Yeah.
So this was what, 2017? Is that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel looking back on those songs, this album?
I'm still really proud of that one. Because like you were saying, it's just like we felt it when we were recording it, that we were coming into our own and really figuring ourselves out, or at least our first like impression of ourselves. And all those songs are the most realized version of ourselves, at the time. And then like you were saying, how it's a little bit heavier. The funny thing about that one is because like when we first started the band, we weren't even necessarily going to be a like screamy band. That was not the intention. Because originally, like our original vocalist Danny was going to be doing like just singing, and I wasn't going to be singing at all. But it turned into a thing where he was like, I feel more comfortable screaming, and then I'll just do the singing. So that's how like 3 of the songs I think on Function weren't originally written with screams in mind. I think Message is Clear is the only one that we were like, we want screams on this, and that's kind of where it started. And then, so of course with Bouquet, we had already been doing that. So that was the first, bunch of songs where it's just like, this is the lineup, this is how we're doing it.
Interesting. I like hearing stuff like that where, I mean, every band has a story like that where you have your intention and then what the actual finished product is, and I just think it's very interesting that you didn't intend to have screaming on any of it, because it fits.
We're all screaming.
and it accentuates the I don't know, the more intricate and even heavier parts of those songs. So I don't know, I dig it. I think it's cool.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then following what you did with Function, you did a remixed version of Bouquet.
Yeah.
And this is with, is it just Bad Luck?
Yeah.
BDLCK?
Yeah,
okay.
that's just my like beat production pseudonym. But yeah, I just did those. Like I made like 4 of them for fun, and then just sent them to them. Or I made 1 of them and then I sent them to them, and Kevin was like, "Can you make 4 more of these? We'll just put it on Bandcamp." I was like, "Sure." So we did, and then I was like, "Well, I guess I'll just do like most of the album." So I did the rest of them, and then we just put it out, and people dug it, and we like the idea of doing remixes instead of just like making sad, slowed down versions of things. It's more fun to do remixes instead, I guess. So we just kept doing them. But that's like my thing, I guess.
I mean this in the best way when I say it. It's bizarre. To hear those songs being, I mean, broadcast through that different creative outlet, it's, I don't know, it's super cool, but it's also like, I don't know, I'm so far removed from that side of music, whether it's EDM or, you can crucify me for not knowing what electronic music is, but
I make electronic music, and I don't know what any of the subgenres are outside of like the main ones. So I'm
sure it's the same way when like hardcore
it's
EDM people hear death metal and hardcore, and they're like, it's all hardcore.
It's all screamo.
It's all screamo.
It's all screamo, yeah. But I don't have the ability to wrap my head around those remixes creatively, so it's super cool to hear something that I'm very familiar with being produced in a very, very foreign way. So way to go on that, because that shit's nuts.
Yeah, I think it just came from like, I mean, I know like you guys, Kevin and Caleb, obviously like have more of the hip hop background, and that's way more common in that, kind of world. But then like, I mean, Linkin Park did it with the, we're going to keep going back to Linkin Park.
Always.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. It's fun.
But like, with like Reanimation, and then for me, it was like a lot of the like, I know like Asking Alexandria did a remix album, like Attack Attack, I always had the remixes on stuff. And that was like my, like I guess gateway into it. I always loved like those like kind of shitty dubstep remixes of all the metalcore songs, and I was like, I'm gonna do that, but not exactly like that, but like just the but yeah, they're fun. I'm eventually gonna do more of them, but slow. So
okay.
Yeah.
So again, you can crucify me for it, but is that lo-fi then at that point?
Yeah, some of it's lo-fi. Like Yeah, like some of them on there are lo-fi. Like I do like lo-fi beat tapes sometimes too, but I don't know. I just like experimenting with different like sounds and like.
Because I'd say like as different as some of the songs on like the records proper are, the remixes have like their own like kind of different push too.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
some of them do dabble in the different like kind of subgenres of whatever, you know.
They're
like,
all
whether it
over
be,
the
like,
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean that was definitely like a focus, like more I feel like when I did the, like, not to jump forward, but like when I did the Speaking Into Existence remixes, it was like those were a little more focused, where I was like, okay, I'm gonna do like, I think like the Plastic Conglomerate one and the graduation day one are like definitely like lo-fi, like hip hop beats or whatever. But then you have like the Rebel the Mighty's Cat one that it was like me channeling like Big Chocolate and Skrillex and stuff. So it's like, it's really just like whatever. I just listened to the song and I'm like, what cool like way could I like mess this up, pretty much. And then yeah, I don't know. And then some of them end up with like Kevin rapping on them.
Yeah.
If I end up just making more of a beat out of it than like a full-fledged remix and it needs vocals, then he'll, you know, throw stuff on top of it. And it really just, yeah, it's just whatever comes out. But yeah, it's like Kevin was saying, it's like the, you know, they're all pretty different, but that's kind of how our normal songs are too. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I managed to ruin our songs without adding electronic stuff over top of it. So imagine what I could do with that.
Hey, you know, it's fun. But yeah.
Very cool. So that would be Bouquet remixes. So season 1 remixes is that. And then second full length, Speak It Into Existence, which is how I initially found you guys last year on Twitter. I think I'm sure it was Louisiana Purchase, which is an awesome song, and everybody on Earth loves it apparently because you guys are like blowing the hell up because of it. I love it.
Lucky enough, yeah.
It's still wild. Like every time it hits like a milestone or something, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like how is it still?
It's super fucking cool. I love seeing it. It's very neat to see smaller bands grow. And coming across you guys that way was just, I don't know, super cool. But Speak It Into Existence, definitely a more refined Pulse's sound. Still you guys, and still pushing the envelope in a lot of different ways, incorporating a lot of different genres again, and influence, and I mean, I'm sure it's just maturing as humans and bringing those influences into it, whatever you're listening to at the time. But from Bouquet 2017, 3 years later to this, it's leaps and bounds better structurally, but also still very you guys.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
It is a combination of all that, you know, growing as people and then as musicians, because, you know, life experiences and music experiences, you know, like we're always grateful for, you know, after we put out Bouquet, we're given, you know, a solid amount of opportunities. You know, we're playing shows a lot more and people were starting to listen a little bit. So then we, you know, pushed ourselves to it, and, you know, Matt joined, and that brought in another, you know, musical mind into the fray of everything. And we all just kind of grew together, you know, as friends and as people, and definitely got put into the record. And yeah, I'm glad it comes out as more refined, because I think it really is just emblematic of, you know, that growth in those 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, like I said, structurally, it's very you guys still. It's very typical post-hardcore, but it's still, it's off the wall. It's, I don't know. It's just fucking fun. It's fun. It's a great way to put it.
That's really all we're trying to do. It's just stuff that we can have fun with. Like, yeah. But I'm glad you guys dig it so much. I think that's still the thing that I'm the most proud of that we've done. Just because we spent a long time working on that record. It doesn't seem like it, I guess, because it came out like Well, no, 3 years is kind of long now, I guess, since everyone now is releasing stuff like every year. But
Yeah.
but I don't know. I mean, like I know when I joined, they had already been working on it for a while, and then by the time I got to it, it was like still a long time before we finished it. So like we basically got it finished and then released it. So it took a while, but
And it felt special just in the sense of like, for Speak Into Existence, we recorded it all ourselves. For Bouquet, we went to, someone else's like home studio and recorded it. But everything on Speak Into Existence, and then by extension Speak Less, we tracked everything ourselves, like no producer or anything like that. And then we sent it off to Josh Unit of, at the time, Wolf and Bear, to mix it, and Drew Owens to master it. So it just felt cool that we kind of owned the process of like, recording it as well, of course, as writing it.
It's a good fucking feeling, isn't it? It's like building something from the ground up. You're able to look back on it at the end and know that it's your hard work, all of it.
Yeah.
Not that if you use a producer or anything, it's not hard work, but
Right.
100% of it is yours.
it was crazy too, like going from like, because we write in Guitar Pro, so it's like a lot of the time we don't hear the song with like real instruments until it's like recorded and mixed and everything, and that's so like I remember we had some of them where we were listening to like the kind of just unmixed like rough demos, and I was like, these are kind of rough. I don't know how these are gonna come out, and then Josh would send them back and I'd be like, oh shit, all right, this is cool. Like, so it's just cool to be able to like hear. Like, I mean, we're definitely a lot more, like, I feel like we have our process for recording and writing and everything down a lot more now. But, like, we're doing even more of it ourselves and everything. But then it was just cool to hear, like, it go from something we just, like, kind of, like, we didn't wing it, but we, like, kind of winged it. Like,
I get it.
We wing everything in this band.
yeah. Like
we know all about it.
Yeah, it's like I had some recording background, and then like Caleb, I know, like learned a lot about like how to do the drums and stuff, so we could do that ourselves. And then now Caleb's like, way further along on it than any of us. But like, yeah, it was cool to like just figure it out and make it work. So
Yeah, that's like the exact same process we have.
Yeah.
So our first
Sick.
album was
Yeah.
Bob writing and recording everything in his tiny little office out here in Salt Lake, and then sending it to me back in Baltimore, and I was just putting it together as best I could, and we kind of wung the first album, and if wung is a word.
Wong is a word, and the first album was definitely Wong.
We winged the first album. But then for this second album we're working on right now, like I think we have everything down to a science, where all the guitar tones are pretty much in the same ballpark, and the drums are, we constantly have them mic'd up and tuned the same, and everything's pretty consistent now.
Yeah, that's where we're at now. Like as you can see behind them,
Yeah,
like, we got the
we're
drums done.
building it up.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
I love that for y'all too.
Yeah, it's
Super fun.
it's music is one of those weird things too, where you never reach a spot and you're just like, okay, that's where I'm at musically.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change ever from that spot. So whether it's your knowledge of what you're doing, your actual proficiency in playing, or just your general influence from whatever you're listening to at that point in time, like everything is constantly changing. So capturing it all is bizarre, and that's why, I mean, I'm sure you guys have the same sentiment where when you're actually done with something, you're releasing it, and you're like, could have done that better.
no, 100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Every time. Literally every time.
Yeah,
There's
every
always
time.
at least something like that you're just like, fuck.
Especially because it's just like I'm editing all the stuff too, so I'll notice things like after we get a mix back, or like after it's released, where I'm just like, fuck. There's a little like blip in the drum snare because I edited it, weirdly. But I'm never gonna tell anybody else because then it's gonna fuck it up for everybody else. So I'm gonna just keep it to myself.
And it's crazy too, because for the majority of everything that we personally hear, so like that drum blip that you hear, nobody's gonna hear that
Yeah.
unless you point it out, and it's gonna drive you crazy, because I know it drives me crazy when I hear something that's slightly imperfect that could be that much better.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But yeah, Speak It Into Existence, awesome second album, and then again we have remixes of this, and again they're fucking bizarre. It's just so much fun. It's all over the place, and it's just echoing the same thing I said for the previous two, because it's just so cool. It's different.
I'm glad they matter to you, because I think not to say that. I don't know. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna go there. So there have been people that are like, I don't care about remixes. I'm not listening to them. And I'm like, all right, that's your prerogative. You can do that. But it's like, no, these are actually important to us. At least to me. I know they're important to Matt because he like makes them. But like to me, it's just like they're a part of the Pulse's zeitgeist just as much as like the studio records are. Because it's just like we need y'all to understand, not you specifically, but people to understand that. I like post-hardcore and all this shit, but I also really like beats and like cool raps and shit like that. And the fact that I get to do that in my catalog, like, our catalog is great, and that you have to understand the multiple facets of like who we are as musicians. So
absolutely,
they matter.
It's a very important part of conveying. I think it's just that much. More of a dive into who you all are and what you're bringing to the table. So whether or not somebody wants to listen to it, they still have to respect it, because it's Pulses. If you like Pulses, you gotta, I don't know, you don't have to like anything.
Right, you don't have to. But you gotta just know that it's
you gotta,
there.
Well, you have to.
You have to like Pulses.
Right there.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. I've been asked a couple of times, are we going to do like acoustic versions of our songs? And not only is that a fucking daunting task to even think about, but like that's not me. So I wouldn't want to put that into. I wouldn't want to speak that into existence.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah,
that's how I've always felt too. People ask us about acoustic versions, and I'll always joke with Matt too about it, because Matt is more willing to do it, because I mean,
I've arranged a few of them already, like as soon as they want to do it, I'm ready to go. But I've always just been like, well, one, I don't like playing acoustic guitar, period, so I'm just like, recording it would suck. And then two, I'm just like, I don't understand how y'all will listen to some of these songs and be like, yeah, I want that acoustic. Like, what? I don't know. It's like there's never going to be acoustic Louisiana Purchase or acoustic.
I'm not saying Mom said. No one's saying Mom said the Xbox over an acoustic guitar. It just doesn't fucking work the same.
No, like if we do it, it'll be the songs that are like already like really poppy or really moody, but it's not going to be like the hip hop ones. Like,
it's not going to be the ones y'all want, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
So how you pretty much what you said about bringing these remixed versions of the original songs back in, or just part of your catalog. There's a plethora of bands who release acoustic versions of their songs. Just that's what they do.
Yeah.
And unless the original song is an acoustic song, I can never get behind an acoustic song or like an acoustic remix. I just can't. It's
rare. It's rare for sure. Like, there's some really good ones, but there's also so many where I'm just like, why'd you do this?
Yeah.
Like, I remember like back in the day, like around like 2010, 2011, it's like all the metalcore bands were doing it, and I was like, this song has a clean chorus and the rest of it's breakdowns. Why'd you play this on an acoustic guitar? Like, what is wrong with you?
And to your point, I respect them for doing it, because that's like, what they wanted to do. Some people, I'm sure, have done it for the wrong reasons, but
I'm sure there was a lot of like Rise Records push to do a lot of those, but I'm sure some of them really wanted to do it. But I'm just like, man, I don't know about this.
That reminds me just like anecdotally about not Rise, but like Silverstein when they were on Hopeless at the time. And when they put out Rescue, and then apparently Hopeless like wanted them to make the Forget Your Heart a piano version, and then first Shane was like, I don't know how to play piano. Why are you gonna make me do this? And then he was like, why do you like, this is just a waste of my time, but they like kind of forced their hand and they did it. Yeah. So it's just like, it's definitely out there.
I know he said he like played it in and then they like edited it in the MIDI to make it actually sound right and everything too, because
That's crazy that you brought up Silverstein, because one, they're one of my favorite bands, but two, I was gonna say they're
Same.
one of the ones that have pulled off that acoustic metal to acoustic
Definitely.
thing. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like, where are you off like their most recent album, I guess? They
Yeah,
did,
that
like, an
reimagined
acoustic-
version was good.
Yeah, I love
That's
that
really
one.
good.
But yeah, and then back
Yeah,
in the
they-
day, like Chiodos and stuff, like Craig Owens was always doing acoustic versions of all their songs.
We just went and saw him acoustic, and he kind of killed it. Like it
Yeah,
was
he
good.
pulled it off
He's
pretty
good.
well.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the examples I think of, like at least he's thinking about like how they can be arranged in a way. Like he's
Right.
not gonna like
That's good.
do breakdowns on an acoustic guitar or whatever. He'll just omit them or just like transition the song differently, and so that it just kind of avoids that, because like he does sing a lot on most of the songs, so
Right.
it's just like don't do the heavy, just do
Yeah.
all the clean, make it a shorter song. It's okay, we'll still vibe, but
Yeah.
that's a good example. But
Yeah.
back to Silverstein real quick, just because I don't want to leave it. Silverstein was like very important to us too, so
Yeah.
it's good
Yeah,
that you brought that
definitely.
up.
I mean, we'll bring it up. I feel like also when going into the next record too.
Yeah.
Especially so.
Speaking of the next record,
Transition.
Wow.
Speak Less. Not only is it I caught it immediately and was like, that's a clever play on the last album, because it's Speak It Into Existence, and then this one is Speak Less, and it's just heavier. It's in your fucking face.
Yeah.
And that pumps me up. This is my favorite album of your guys.
That's cool.
And
Appreciate
not only because it's better recording quality and everything, but it's that's just my prerogative. It's
Hey,
heavy, it's
Yeah.
fast, but there's still some slower stuff. There's still some just kind of sit back and nod your head and vibe, but for the most part, it's aggressive, and I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, honestly, that was like part of the motive behind it. Was just like, again, like we do the remixes, and our normal shit is just like we want to show we're multifaceted people, and it's just like, as much as we don't always show it, on the other record, this is like we like the real heavy shit, or like the screamo, like scram
Real-
shit.
real screamo.
Yeah.
Like we're I like listening to Orchid and whatnot, or just like I know at the time a lot of it was like listening to Orchid or
Touche Amore,
Touche
or
Amore,
Seiya,
Yeah.
or like just a
Well,
bunch of
forget
those
it, actually.
heavy bands.
and like
I was gonna say
before.
it's very Seisha-y.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love it.
so it's just like trying to just show another side of things, and then also just for fun for us, so it's just like, all right, how do we make this our own, but
Right.
also still the heaviest version of us.
It's still very you guys. So the comparison I had in my head was when Senses Fail did what's the Thorn album?
Renaissance?
No,
No.
it's something. Senses Fail did an album, the Thorn in My Side, or the Thorn something with a thorn, and it's fucking heavy. It's just like straight hardcore. And for Senses Fail to do that, I was like, holy shit! Like this is still them, but it's very not them, and
Right.
that's what this is. It's a different side of Pulses, but it's still very Pulses, and it's just, I don't know, it's cool. I dig it.
Exactly. I'm glad you get it so
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
And then just to bring them up again, like with
Little points,
Silverstein, Silverstein's short songs was a major influence behind both like musically and then thematically, like structurally of it, because
Yeah.
that whole record was them being like, okay, let's like write hardcore punk songs that are a minute and a half or less, so and make like a record of it. Ours is pretty much just like those first 11 tracks of it, because those were the originals, and the latter half was the covers. So yeah, that was a major influence on it. And then at the time, Kanye West had been putting out like short albums in 2018.
Or producing short.
Oh, yeah.
Like producing for other people. Like so he had like Pusha T dropped the record, Tiana Taylor, his own
Nas.
record, Nas, Kitsy Ghosts. Yeah, those were all like short 30-minute 7-track most of the time records. So we were like, well, if it's good for Kanye, it's good for Silverstein. It's definitely good for us.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's been interesting seeing people respond to it, because like people who I wouldn't have thought would be behind it are like still into it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Y'all let us do whatever we want. That's good.
Yeah. I am all for heavy and chaotic. So next one should be Speak Nothing, and it's just grindcore, just straight up crazy. That Census Fail album, by the way, is Pull the Thorn from Your Heart.
I need to go listen to it.
Honestly, yeah. It's just like I need to listen to more of their records. I
just play Let It Enfold You too many times.
It's such a good album. That's like that. So I mean, I'm sure you guys know the same thing, but that early 2000s emo screamo post-hardcore is like
Everything.
that's me. That's it's everything. Chef's kiss. Let It Unfold You is one of my biggest influences, and then Still Searching too. They just they just stepped it up, and it's so fucking good. And then I mean, you can't say Census Fail without The Used.
Yep.
And then you can't say The Used without Story of the Year, and then so I love that you brought that up because they're just so fucking good.
Great era.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the discography. I'm assuming you guys are constantly working on stuff, so I'm gonna assume that there's new things in the works.
Yeah,
absolutely. Always working.
Yeah. I mean, we got those re-records. We've talked about it publicly a little bit, but we got those 2 re-records, and then like a B-side from Speak It Into Existence that's like getting mixed now. So that'll
cool.
Awesome.
Sometime this year, and then we're working on because Speak Less we consider it an EP because it's like not the 3rd album, even though it's 12 songs, but it's like
each song is like a minute and 20,
exactly. I mean, it's,
minute 30. So
so album 3 is like in the works right now, but we're getting there.
It's exciting.
Yeah. We've written a lot and cut a lot, but
it's still kind of finding its own like idea overall, but like at least the music is flowing, and that's what's most important, I think.
I don't know if you'll be able to answer this just because it's part of just being an artist, but you said you've created a lot and already cut a lot. Mm-hmm. Do you how do you piece together your songs, or do you kind of let them piece themselves together?
See, it's hard to say, I guess.
That's more of an existential question. I'm sorry.
I think it varies song to song, because there's definitely songs where we just like wing it and it happens and then it ends up being good. Like we're not really trying to accomplish anything. It just comes out and then it's cool. But then there's other ones where we're definitely like really like focused on like Louisiana Purchase was one that like Caleb was like, I want to make a bounce post-hardcore song, and we did it. Like, but we
did say bouncy.
Like,
song.
So like we took like all this stuff from like, you know, Louisiana bounce music and put it in that, and same thing with like Exist Warp Breaks and stuff. So it's like some of those songs are very like, this is something that we're like trying to do with it. Then a lot of the time we'll just like fuck around and something comes out and it's cool. And that's so it really just depends, I think.
Okay.
And I was gonna say also, it's like different how we're doing it differently, at least for this 3rd album, was like for Bouquet and Speaking Into Existence. Well, especially for Bouquet, those 12 songs on Bouquet were the 12 songs that we wrote during that time, and we put them all on the record. And for Speaking to Existence, I think we wrote 15 songs, so we cut 3 of them, and 12 were on the record. And so this time around, we're just trying to like put some more thought into things. Not that we weren't before, but just, you know, like Kevin was saying, just figuring out the idea behind it.
Sure.
So we're writing a bunch of things, cutting things, and letting itself kind of letting us get to the identity of what this record is going to be.
Okay.
And allowing ourselves to get there.
So, yeah, I get it. Letting it find its own and letting the process kind of do its own work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give it some context, so far we have like 9 that we're kind of focusing on that are like could make it, could not, but like they're the ones that we're like, yeah, these are pretty good. And then we have like this one folder is ones we've cut, and it's like another 9 songs. There's like ones we're shelving for later. That's another 4 songs. Like we got a lot in here. It's just like,
and they're all like also various lengths. Like there's not, some of those are like 2 riffs. Like,
yeah, some of them are like almost completely done, and then other ones are like Kevin said, it's like two riffs, or like, oh, it's a drum part and a guitar part and that's it, or like, you know, whatever. So
I love hearing that because it's kind of like confirmation bias, because I'll do the same shit. I'll just have like sessions in Studio One Open where I recorded like 2 riffs and I'm like, this is a good riff, but I don't know what the hell else to do with it right now. And then I'll just come back to it, and sometimes I'll have a full song and like it's shit and it's good.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that's the nice thing too with having all of us being writers. Like I know David was writing at work the other day. Like we all like can, you know, if like say I write, you know, okay, I wrote a verse, a pre-chorus, and a chorus, and maybe like one cool riff, but I don't know what to do with any of it, and then I just throw it in the drive, and then like 2 weeks later Caleb will come up and be like, hey, I finished it. It's like, oh cool, okay, now it's a song. Like, so, and vice versa. Like we can all, like I know Kevin wrote a drum part the other day that we've all just been slowly adding to, and then like
Nice.
Caleb will come up with stuff, and then I'll come through and, you know, add stuff, and then David will come through and just, David does this thing where he writes without holding a bass, and it either comes up with things that make absolutely no sense or things that are like just weird enough to be really cool. So but yeah, I know we posted something on our TikTok the other day that was like an idea that David had written. Like I wrote like this like jazz section, and David wrote a guitar solo over it, and it's like he self-admittedly said it wasn't good and he wanted to change it. And I posted it, and everyone was like, this is great, you should use this. I'm like, no, it's not. It's really not.
It was like, it was chromatic as hell. It's like this is no key to be found whatsoever.
And I had someone on there trying to be like, well, technically it's in key because it's in this key and these notes, and I'm like, dog,
everything is in key if you really think about it.
Yeah, and I was like, bro, I went to college for 4 years for this shit. I know it's not in key. You don't have to explain to me why, like through some loophole it is. I don't care. I really don't care.
No, yeah.
It's modulated.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's but yeah, we'll see. We're working on it. It's cool so far, I think.
Cool.
We'll see. We have a lot of like ideas of things that we want to do differently, like production wise with it, and like just making it a little like different.
We're finally settling on some semblance of an idea. It's like what David came in the chat the other day. Like we were hanging out. David was like, I think busy or whatever. He's like, we should do this. Like, what did he say? Something like,
he said he wanted to bring in like more of the hip hop influence. And he was like, I want to make the intro. He's like, we should have the album open with like some like beat stuff, like some like lo-fi stuff. And it was like literally like 5 minutes after Caleb had said we should just make like the album open like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye, and it was like the same thought, just in 2
entirely separate locations, not even talking about it at all.
And that's the special thing. It's just like when multiple people are on the same page, like without even like talking about it, that's when you know the idea is formulating and it's sinking in and it's becoming in sync with everybody.
Yeah.
So, just because you brought it up, I gotta commend you guys too on so the first 2 albums, the interest to the album is just you guys having a fucking ball, and like I love that. It's so much fun. And not that Speak Less, so Speak Less does not come into the album that way. It comes in with my favorite kind of intro, which is just a very chordy swell. That's like the best for me.
Hey, but nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I feel when I'm listening to you guys, especially like the transitions between songs and stuff like that, you'll just have like random little snippets of things, and it makes me feel like I'm listening to like old school hip hop and like rap and stuff, and like I love it. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. Like we just, you know, it's cool to just throw things that aren't music in your music.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that's something we're definitely going to do a lot on this next record, is just like throw in like sounds and, you know, like.
So it's like, I think some people have been like, oh, well, Speak Less was different. You guys keep saying it's different, so you're not going to do that anymore. It's like, no, it still matters. Like, Speak Less is still, a step on the ladder to wherever we're going. So it's like, yeah, okay, we're going to be probably heavier now, like in some aspects.
When we have like songs that are heavier, they're definitely going to sound more like Speak Less than probably like the heavier ones off of the older records.
Yeah.
And especially, not to say we only do things because of reception on other people, but also the reception for Speak Less was a lot better than we anticipated.
So if we just stop doing it, I think that probably would be a bad idea.
Yeah. Because I know while we were writing it, because again, like I think Matt was saying earlier, it was like while we were writing it, we were just like, this is pretty much just like a fuck you kind of deal, like to some aspects of things, because we didn't want to be stuck in a box of of people trying to place us in a box.
And then they did anyway, so we were like, all right, you know what? Fuck it.
So literally you cannot win, so it's just like, it doesn't matter.
I don't know how anybody puts the first few albums, EPs into a box, because it's a fucking large-ass box with many compartments.
It's a Will Swan worship music box.
People hear that Weedly Wee, and they're like, that's Will Swan. Will Swan played that, and you stole it.
Oh, so please enlighten me on what the fuck Swancore is.
I don't even know.
I can't enlighten you on what I don't know.
It's not a genre. It's a friend group.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to.
Because if you look at it, it's like, okay, like the big Swan, like I mean, when it gets put on like bands like our size and everything, like it's like progressive post-hardcore pretty much. Like
that's what it should be.
Post-hardcore mixed with math rock mixed with it's like At the Drive-In worship, even though like half of the bands don't listen to At the Drive-In anymore, but it's like that's where it comes from. But then what it really is, like where the term came from, is it was all the bands that were either on Blue Swan Records or had members that were in Dance Gavin Dance. So like, but then you look at those bands and it's like none of them sound the same. Like Dance Gavin Dance and Hail the Sun don't sound the same. Hail the Sun and A Lot Like Birds don't sound the same. Andreas doesn't sound like any of them. Bill Murray doesn't sound like any of them. Like,
but yet they all somehow exist in the Swancore cinematic universe.
Okay, yeah, because I remember somebody saying that we were like Swancore adjacent, and I was like, thanks. Like, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're referring to.
If you got a jazz chord or like an odd time signature, you're Swancore apparently.
Well, then we're fucking Swancore. Let's go.
People started doing it with like any band that was on Swanfest too. So I saw some like Swancore playlists that had like Veil of Maya, Periphery, Movements, Knocked Loose, and I was like, y'all are stupid. This is dumb. I'm sorry.
Fuck it. Let's start Goosecore. And
Well, wait, wasn't that one dude on Twitter beefing us? Like that goose. He had a goose Abby, and he was fucking talking shit, and I was just like fighting him.
Of course.
Yeah, he just came in. He came into one of our tweets and was just like, "This production sucks. This song sucks. You guys suck." And we were just like, "Okay, sure." And we just clowned him until he left.
I quote tweeted his tweet and quote tweeted it with like a roast goose and made a discount code on Bandcamp for like 20% off our music.
That's my favorite thing that you do is anytime we beef with someone on Twitter, you make it into a Bandcamp discount code.
That's so good.
It's just like, if you're gonna just funny. Like talk all that nonsense, let's at least do something positive with it.
Well, there was a guy that we were like making jokes about how Speak Less was like costing a lot of money. And some guy came in and was like, you shouldn't worry about, like, you shouldn't be doing it for the money. And we're like, we're just joking about it being expensive. Like,
that's it.
He's like, oh, Van Gogh died broke and all this shit and whatever.
I remember reading that.
Yeah, it was dumb. And then
referencing Vincent Van Gogh for fucking 2021 post-hardcore. Like, what the fuck is your brain doing?
Yeah, but then like people started jumping in that like didn't even listen to us, and they were just like, "You're being dumb," and I was like, "This is cool." And then he deactivated. But I remember Kevin after that was just like, "Cool, since we only care about the money, all of our music's free on Bandcamp for the next week." And here's a discount code for the merch or whatever. It's like just a,
always got to turn it around on them, at least on twitter.com.
Twitter.com.
The Bird app.
The Bird app.
Hey, so I'm getting a some kind of thing saying that the call's going to end in 4 minutes because we have
I see.
2 people in the thing. If this cuts out, I will set up another call and just invite you guys again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
All good.
Yeah.
Or let me just
yet.
let me see what I got to do.
Unless you want to be.
It's like if you want to be done, we're
No,
done.
I do
I'm
not. I
done.
have all the things to still do here. So
Yeah, we got time.
And we be talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. All our like podcasts are like an hour and a half just because we're bullshitting like half the time.
Dude, that's how all of these have turned out. They're incredible.
That's the best kind of podcast. We did demo team, and they literally just let us talk shit for like 30
An
minutes
hour.
at the end.
Like, oh my-
Yeah,
We felt bad because there was at one point where it was just the 3 of us talking. It wasn't even the host talking for like straight 30 minutes.
and they got like 5 hosts too. So I was like, we're really just dominating. Like we're outnumbered, and we're still. And we would come in and just be like, y'all want to say anything? Like, we're sorry, we're being too annoying, I guess. They were like, no, keep going, and we were like, okay, cool.
Weird. I'm just gonna set this up now. So
Okay.
That's right.
Hey.
Sorry for the moment. Kevin and I were having a side conversation about some DIY Twitter shit. Bring it in here.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But
Possibly.
I probably do. We'll talk about it after. But
Well, you might as well
we're
jump
back
into it now if you want.
Oh no.
I mean, I
that's
could jump into it like in a general sense. Like
Sure.
the general sense is I'm tired of dickhead. What did you say? Kayla? You have a tweet.
I had a
behind.
tweet in the draft,
in
ready
the draft,
to go.
ready to go. Like,
Locked in. The
When are we gonna be done with the cocky dickhead shtick for band accounts?
I don't know what. Like,
I don't know what you were talking about in particular this time. Then
well, that's fine. That's okay because it's a never ending thing. Like, I don't know what happened to like our band accounts timeline, but I'm like, I hate it. Like, y'all are just like angry all the time. Like,
It's
like,
rough.
What's going on?
I gotta use my personal every now and then because I don't follow 90% of the community on there because it's rough at times, man.
Yeah, it's just like
real.
I'm trying to make some cool music, tweet some dumb shit, and like I'll just have a good time. I've been on this app for like 10 years. Like I know
Same.
what's going on. Like I've seen the gamut of things, and I'm just like DIY Twitter just seems like a hellhole. Like, do y'all like each other or not?
They don't.
Like,
That's the thing.
See, you do, but you don't. I think that's what DIY is actually. It's not a genre. It's not even an acronym. It's it's just.
it just is.
Yeah. But yeah, I get it. The amount of people in mute I have is
dog,
I should start doing that.
probably too
I need
many.
to do it more. I would be a lot happier.
Dude, it has made the experience a lot better, but I still do see a lot of because I'm an idiot and I click this account has been muted, and then I click on it and I'm like, oh, why did I do this? I knew what I was getting into.
I do the same thing all the time. I'm just
Every time I
That's
see
the whole
it.
day. It's like, Twitter, why are you showing this to me anyway? I had this muted for a reason.
Like, I don't want any remnants of it.
like this tweet is muted.
Especially nowadays, I have enough things muted. I don't have as much as I should, but I have enough things muted where I'm just like, which mute did this tweet get caught in?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. I'm just like, wow, I have this muted. They must be saying some dumb shit. I want to see it.
Yeah.
And then it's just aggravating when you see it. So it's
Well, you brought that on yourself.
Yep. I hate to see it, but
it's a cycle of bullshit.
Twitter's a horrible place.
It has provided me with some of the best friendships I have in music, though, which is, I mean, this whole podcast started because of it.
Right.
It just everybody's so spread out all over the place, and nobody's touring or anything. So I want to pick your guys' brains and see why you're wearing a Carly Rae Jepsen shirt. Not that it's a bad thing, because it's a very good thing. I'm just surprised.
We got Carly Rae Jepsen and
Full of Hell, yeah.
Yeah, that's love it.
Or just like Lit Biscuit and then the Contortionist. So
That's how your band should be. If you're all wearing shirts from the same genre, then you're fucking up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love Carly Rae Jepsen. Not gonna lie.
she
That's probably
bangs,
there.
dude.
The production level is just like, it's the best.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like everybody always want to talk about in 2015 the pop album of the year being 1989. I'm like, no,
it was
Emotion
for sure. Like that album is like okay, little tangent, and I know this is not necessarily a popular opinion. I just don't fuck with like 80s pop like that. I really don't. Okay. I don't know why. I love pop music, and it's like I respect it. There were a lot of great 80s pop songs that are like timeless, but like generally, I'm like, okay, can we like not do like the, electronic drum kit production and like some of the synths are a little too cheesy for me. But Carly Rae Jepsen, Emotion, I think did it the best that out of like everybody else that's kind of doing that sound right now. Yeah. Where it's just like, okay, let's incorporate good or like modernized attempts, to like jump into that sound, but not like do everything that they did again. So I'm like, yeah, that's a great record. 80s pop we can stop. Like that's it.
So I want to dive into this just a bit more. When you say 80s pop, are you talking new wave like the Cars and Pet Shop Boys? Or are you talking like 80s pop like Prince and Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston?
I'm talking Cars.
Yeah. Okay.
If I can just go here, I'm talking White.
No, that's what I figured you meant. Yeah.
All right.
Prince Michael.
No. Keep doing that. Soak Sonic, where's the record at?
Yeah.
I'm like, I want that. I want a lot of that. But this side, less of it. Just y'all can do it. Just less.
At least for y'all. I mean, because again, this is all just personal opinion. It's like everybody can like
everybody can have whatever they can like whatever they want.
Because in the same aspect for me, when Paramore put out After Laughter, and I was like, I recognize this is great for like what they're going for in new wave and everything like that. I'm just like, this just personally isn't for me. But I know, like personally, that this is a good record, and everything that they have gotten for it, and all the people that love it, are in good reason for doing so.
Right. It's just I'm more of the ain't it fun, less of the hard times. Yeah. But they're both great.
Hard times is hard.
Hard times is slap.
Is it All We Know Is Falling? No. But I get it.
None of it. Yeah.
Paramore's actually got like one of the most solid discographies.
Yeah,
they
don't have a miss. They don't have a miss in there at all.
It's true.
Honestly.
Yeah. Even like Haley Williams solo stuff, it's good.
Yeah.
I dig it. I listen to it. It's just like it's again like one of those like Caleb was saying. It's like I'm not gonna bump this on the regular or nothing, but I'm like, that's an artist right there.
I get it.
I need to listen to it more because I like other things that sound like that. Like I like Phoebe Bridgers and Julian Baker and all that kind of stuff. But for some reason, just that, like the first one at least of the two records she put out, I was just like,
I heard
like,
the second one.
The second one is better. I thought. I like.
Because what is it? It's Petals for Armor, and then the second one is
like
Volume 2 or something.
It's something.
Armor for Petals. I don't know. It's a play on words.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was kind of just the extra stuff that she like wrote.
It's
like
just like B-side.
She still couldn't tour, and I was like, yeah, this is better. Flowers for Faces.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
And I also just like, I think I know that like she got mad at people on Twitter for complaining about this, so I'm not gonna be that guy complaining about this, but I really don't like the album rollout process of putting out 5 EPs and then making and calling it an album. Like, I just give me like 2 or 3 singles and then like give me the album. Like that's all I want.
I totally agree.
See, I know to death an album guy. I will die on that hill. I don't want EPs. But there was a point in time where I thought about this whole LP2 that we're working on is doing it in like waves. And no pun intended for Acacia Strain. It comes in waves.
Acacia Strain did that too. They did the EP thing, but it kind of worked a little better for them, I feel like, because they did like small, short ones. Hers was like, here's 5 songs.
I think if you can do it convincingly, then it works flawlessly. Like if you can make it flawless, then it's going to work.
Yeah.
But if there's like no real reason for it, then you'll have that. Some people will just be like, well, can I just have it all like right now? Or
well, it's even worse when it's like you have like, oh, it's a 10-song album and you're dropping 6 singles. It's like, bro,
we gotta stop that as a music community.
Dropping 6 singles and then there's an interlude track on there, so you're only getting 3 new songs. I'm like, y'all gotta stop. I get it. I get the logistic reason for doing it because it makes more sense to do in like the current state of Spotify.
People just have a shorter attention span, and it's easier to one, work the algorithm, and it's easier to catch people's attention with something new consistently than one big new thing once every year, 2-3 years. So
and I heard a good argument for it that I think it was Shane from Silverstein on Lead Singer Syndrome. I think he said this, or someone that was on there said it, but they were basically just like, if you do like the single model where you're not even releasing it as an album, really, you're just like dropping singles, it's like you're gonna disappoint people less, because people won't, like, when they hear a new single and they know that that's what you're doing, they're just gonna be like, okay, well, I don't really like this one, but I'm gonna get another song in a month and a half and it'll probably be better. And it's like, that's cool, but at the same time, it's like,
I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a single person. So like, when I hear a single, I will absolutely listen to it, but I will not listen to it more than like once or twice, because I'm so pumped for what should be an album following that.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah, unless it just like
it hits.
It's that good.
It's got to hit like that strong.
It has to absolutely bang. Like
it's got to go like right out the gate. Like if I listen to it like once or twice, and it's like, it's got to be song of the year material. Like, not like obviously like number one, but it's like it's got to go on my end of the year list. Yeah. Like for me to actually do it before the record drops.
So speaking to that point, I can't even tell you the last time somebody dropped a single that was either part of an EP or just a single. Like, I know that we've done it because that's what people want. But personally, like, I can't even tell you a single that I've listened to in the last probably 2-3 years that I'm like,
outside of like some bands that we're friends with.
I have like a couple, like Spirit Box, like Holy Roller.
Okay.
That came out.
I'll go with that one.
I was bumping that one for like ever.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that one hit. I know, like, I mean, we have a lot of friends that are doing it now. So like with Sales Ahead, they've dropped 2, and both of them are sick, and I go back to those regularly. But like, A, the songs are great, and B, they're like our best friends. So it's like, of course I'm going to go listen to it over and over again. Like, if the song didn't hit as well and we didn't know them as well, I might not. But they had that.
I get that.
Perfect.
It's like basically these songs gotta be like 8 to 10 level of greatness.
Oh yeah.
Like just to mention again, like Silk Sonic. That's one of the few exceptions for this year when they dropped, Leave the Door Open. I was like, this is fire. I'm going to keep this on repeat. And I'm going to wait as long as I need to, unfortunately, for whenever this record actually drops.
Yeah.
But especially a lot of things in the scene, I'll listen to the single when it comes out, and I'm like, if this is mid, and I'm like, okay, that's it. I'll wait for the album, see how it goes, and see if it gets better in context of the record.
Yeah.
So outside of Spirit Box, what were the other ones that you were going to say?
Let me look at my phone.
I did think of one while we were just talking. She's My Religion by Pale Waves.
Yeah.
I've never listened to Pale Waves. I know Pale Waves, but I've never listened.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Well, judging by your distaste for new wave, little groovy stuff, you might not like. Well, you might not like their older stuff. New stuff is kind of think like Alanis Morissette, kind of edgy rocker stuff. So you might dig it.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds positive.
First album is definitely new wave-ish, though.
Okay. I mean, it's just like...
It can be good.
It can be good.
It's not a rule.
It's not a rule.
It's very
Nothing's
good.
a rule. That's like also like a good
That's true,
point
too.
to like bring up.
Yeah.
It's just like... I may have like trended downwards in certain genres, but you never know who's going to be the one that's going to be like, like the thing that brings you in.
That's
I know
true.
For me, it's just like, I always love to think of just... I didn't start out the gate liking screams in music, So it's just like, what is going to be that thing that's just like...
Sometimes it just clicks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think a good example for me, like, is I'm sick to death of metalcore at this point. Like, I used to love metalcore. That was like my bread and butter in high school, and now I'm just tired of it. Like 90% of it sounds the same to me, and I'm just over it. But then I hear a record like Era's self-titled, and I'm like, all right, I'm here. Like, this is good. I'm gonna listen to this regularly.
Yep. So I'm gonna pick your brain just a bit further on that. I have been the same way for the last years, and then
same.
Misery Index last year put out or Misery Signal, put out Ultraviolet, And that album, my album of the year last year,
Yeah.
it's metalcore to a T. It's Misery Signals to a T, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I think that's really the thing. Is like you can drop as long as the album is that good. It's like I'll listen to it, whatever genre it's in. But you got to make it good. If it's in a genre I don't give a fuck about, like
Yeah,
For sure.
I don't know. Like I don't need to hear the Architects. What's the song? What's that one song that everyone rips off?
every song,
All of them.
every Architect song.
There's that one that Wage War literally stole the riff from. Doomsday.
Doomsday,
I don't
yeah.
need to hear the Doomsday riff like 80 times with a like Post Malone verse.
Right.
I saw. I don't know if it was a TikTok video or a reel on Instagram, but it was like 5-second snippets of every time a band has used in drop D 0, 5, 7, 8, and gone all the way up and all the way back down, and it's like 50 times, and they're all such good songs, but it's just like, yeah, how many times can you hear this before it gets
it's like
fucking
the-
old?
You gotta do that for the
Unholy Confessions riff. That's the one he's talking about.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Oh, it is that one. Okay, yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It was Unholy Confessions, and then
that one Black
Romance
Veil Bride
use-
song.
yeah, Asking
that one-
Alexandria.
Yeah.
Suicide Silence
Attack
does it at
Attack.
one point. Yeah, Attack. Oh my god.
It's so funny
Good
though,
riff,
'cause
though.
it goes all the way back. Like in that video, they went back to all like this '80s hair metal band that did it, and I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is still the same riff. That's
Yeah.
wild. Like,
So when are we gonna do it?
We've already done it. Don't do it. It's Goose Core.
I'm surprised we didn't do it on Speak Less, honestly. 'Cause-
For real.
Yeah, we should have put on like Untitled Part 2 or some shit just to.
Yeah.
Nah, honestly, we'll throw it in there in a random breakdown just for like 2 seconds and then move on, just as a joke.
What were your other singles?
Sleep Token, Alchemy is
Oh,
the
yeah.
song. But
Yeah, Alchemy's
I
a
don't know
good
if you're-
song.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
don't know,
definitely I haven't listened to it a ton, but I know when the album comes out, I'm gonna listen to it a lot.
Yeah.
'cause
I don't know if
I
it's
like
programmed drums or if it's a real drummer playing on that, but like the drum part on that's pretty crazy. So me
They're-
as a
they're-
drummer, I was like obsessing over it for a week.
their drummer is ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I saw them on that Issues tour, and I was just like, holy shit! That was like I had heard a few of their songs, but that was like my first real exposure to them, and I was like, this guy doesn't play for half the song, but when he comes in, he's
yeah,
like
it's just
going,
ripping.
like
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I love how like ambient and quiet they are, and then just it hits and it's heavy and it's 8-string
Yeah.
guitars and just
No,
it's fucking
they're
nuts.
sick.
You showed me them, yeah?
Yeah, I have. You didn't.
Yeah.
Like them.
That's fair. They're not for everybody, for
Yeah.
sure. Like I don't know. I think for me, it was seeing them live that did it, because I didn't really care, and then they opened
Seeing
that tour,
bands
and I was
live.
like, oh,
It's that click factor. Seeing some
Yeah.
bands live will just make things click. Like
Yeah.
I'm a big hardcore guy, and I cannot tell you how many times I've taken my wife to a hardcore show, and she has hated every last one of them. But the first time we saw Terror, she was blown away. Like she loves Terror, and
Nice.
every time we go, they just do it for her, and it's that.
that's what I'm trying to do with
Yeah.
my I'm making her go to this. I'm making my girlfriend Sienna Shikari with me on this tour that they just announced.
Nice.
Because they're that way. They're like the best live band I've ever seen, and she like kind of likes them, but I'm like, no, you're gonna see them live, and then you're gonna be as into them as I am. Like that's what does it. I promise. Like, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I feel like, or our example, I feel like I always remember when Kevin and I
I know what you
saw
got. I know what you. it's
Fever.
coming. Yeah.
We
Who?
saw Fever 333.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
yeah.
like I thought they were always cool because of course huge fans of Let Live. So I'm like I'm gonna follow whatever Jason Butler does. So when they put out like that first EP with Fever, I was like, this is cool, you know, and whatnot. I was like, I don't love this as much as Let Live or anything, but I'm like, this is cool. Then we saw them play in like a cafe basement in DC. I don't know if you know the venue is Songbird.
I've heard of it. I never went there.
Gotcha.
That was like the only
funny.
time we've been there. But yeah, it was like basement of a cafe, like 30 some people there, and it was only them, like no openers. And that show was like one of my favorite shows of all time.
Hell yeah.
Like shit was rowdy as hell, and like even with, you know, me not loving the music as much prior. I was like, oh no, all these songs hit. All these songs go the fuck off live, so it doesn't even matter.
I'll legit like watch one of their live sets over listening to their albums because they just sound so much better. You strip away like all the Feldman production.
Yeah, it's that
like,
Feldman, dog.
Yeah, Feldman got to stop.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're playing with them, and that's gonna be on that festival. That's gonna be
very cool.
That's
That
wild.
would be so cool.
I think they're on a different day, but still we're gonna see them.
Still,
Yeah,
that's
It counts.
yeah.
that's shit. What's the festival called? That's the one
Blue
in.
Ridge Rock Fest. Yeah,
Blue Ridge Rock.
Blue Ridge
Fest.
Rock Festival.
That's not the one I was thinking of. Where is Blue Ridge?
It's in Danville,
Danville.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. What the hell was I thinking?
South
What's
Virginia.
what's the one down in I think it's Louisiana. Is it Furnace Fest?
Oh, Furnace Fest.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were playing that.
I wish.
wish.
Oh, God damn.
That would be so sick.
Insane,
Okay.
but no, unfortunately not.
Okay,
I think
never
it's the
mind.
same weekend too.
I'm just
Is
an
it?
idiot. No big deal.
Hey,
good.
nah.
I wish we were playing Furnace.
I'm glad you would think that we'd be capable of actually playing.
You absolutely are.
Yes. Not
So
to huge disrespect Blue Ridge, but yeah, no, they got it.
talk about Blue Ridge a bit. Who else is playing on this festival and when is it?
Spirit Box is playing on our day, which is fucking
Fuck.
sick.
Yeah.
Who else
A
is
Day to
playing our
Remember
day?
is closing
Day to
out our
Remember
day too.
Sick.
It's them and Breaking Benjamin headlining. And I know
Breaking
Kevin likes
Benjamin
Breaking
still
Benjamin a
plays.
lot.
Cool.
So it's, yeah.
I mean, Breaking Benjamin is just funny to me. Like, I think it's like, I don't even know what it is really. It's like,
They have that Nickelback factor.
yeah.
Where it's like,
They do.
The riffs are like underratedly heavy, but just the overall music is just really cringy and
It's really sterile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and their drummer, like, I mean, it's like I play a lot of rock band, so it's just like it helps me like analyze the music more. And they
Sure.
have a shit ton of songs in the game. I'm like, their drummer is playing like really cool, like different parts that are just like cymbal play and types like things like that, and just different like rhythms, but like the music just overall, like you said, it's just like not hitting. Like, but at the same time, I'm like, I like 10 Breaking Benjamin songs. I'm like, what is going on?
But then that's the whole thing. How like the dude, like the main like singer, and who writes the songs, pretty much openly was like, yeah, we like write the same song over and over again, and we knowingly do it, and that's just how things are. And I'm like, I guess if you just admit it,
Yeah.
what can I
gotta
really say?
respect it if that's how you just live your life.
If you acknowledge it and it's working,
Yeah. Then I'm like, all right.
who's
You
to
wrote-
say
If you
stop?
try to pretend like you're not, then I'm like, all right, no.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like
That's-
if you're gonna be
yeah.
open, cool.
All I know is like we're gonna show up there and the headline, and they play Diarrhea Jane. I'm going off.
Yeah. I'm busting heads in the pit. Like there's
Yeah.
no.
absolutely.
But yeah, who else is playing that's cool? Fever's playing on Friday, I think.
The Five Finger Death Punch on 9/11.
God damn it.
God, that's
Come
gonna
on,
suck. We're leaving before that. 100% leaving before that.
How are they
The
still
most
allowed to
important
do
thing,
things?
and I'm surprised you haven't said it yet, Matt, is T-Pain is going to be in the club experience.
Oh, yeah. That's,
Ooh.
which I am a massive T-Pain stan. So
Absolutely.
Same.
So much.
I fucking love T-Pain so much.
He's great.
He's just DJing, but I'm still here for it. Like,
Tallahassee Love is.
Yeah.
Am I allowed
So
to give the exclusive that we have a fucking Bob Godden T-Pain auto-tune part in one of our songs?
Wait,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm surprised
it.
we don't have one yet, and I
That
more
is
bands need to do
incredible.
that. I will love that song when it comes.
hey, Goose Core is inclusive. Get in there. Yeah,
More
so
about that then.
I'm tweeting it right now.
we wrote this incredibly stupid song. It's stupid in the best way. It's just think like, have you ever listened to Caiaphas? Or like Dillinger?
Let's relate to
Think Dillinger.
Yeah, I know Dillinger, of course.
Yeah.
Think Dillinger, but think like Car Bomb too. So whammy pedals and weird fast riffs and
Car Bomb's fucking insane.
I
saw it open for Dillinger, and it was the most insane
shit.
show I've ever been to.
I believe that.
jealous of that. So we figured, what could we throw on top of that makes it that much more extra goofy, and it was a T-Pain little run. So
Hey.
That sounds like a recipe of just greatness right there.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck.
Looking forward to it.
We watched the auto-tune episode of This Is Pop Music.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah. I need to watch that still. I've been meaning to watch that.
it was really good.
It's very good. It's
And then-
because you love T-Pain. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to
No.
watch that.
We were like, we need some auto-tune.
Yeah. Who was that? The Ghost Inside's on the day we're playing.
Yeah,
Sick.
see them.
I was
Yeah.
never like a huge Ghost Inside fan, but just like I want to see that. Yeah,
So-
obviously,
Back
Great.
to the live factor. Ghost Inside. What was their first album? Fury and the Fallen Ones was a good album in like 2008. And I was like, all right, like this fucks, like I get it. And then saw them live, and I was like, holy shit, like the fucking energy that they bring behind very simple melodic hardcore, like it puts it over the top. And then Returners is an awesome album.
I'm excited. I really just want to watch their drummer. Like,
Yeah,
the
for
fact that
real.
the fact that he can still play just as well with one leg is insane.
Have you seen any of the videos? What does he
Yeah.
call it? He calls it the mechanism
know, but-
itself. He calls it something super like over the top.
I can't remember.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen like a little clip, like on like Twitter.
He calls it like the Annihilator or something,
Oh,
and
really?
like yeah, it's so fucking cool. It just attaches to his knee, and he's just
Yeah,
he
wild.
didn't miss a beat.
Yeah,
It's
it's
nuts.
Great. I saw them like pre-accident. It was Chunk No Captain Chunk, The Ghost Inside, Attack.
Jeez.
That was
That's
so-
a metalcore show.
The Krabbis tour.
Wow.
Yeah, the alternate bands on that tour that weren't on that date, because that was back when everyone did that. It was like half the tour would be a completely different lineup. The alternate bands were Sleeping with Sirens and Dream On Dreamer, I think. But that was
Oh my God.
The date I saw was Chunk No Captain Chunk, and they didn't have their drummer at the time, I guess. So the drummer from Ghost Inside played for Chunk No Captain Chunk, and then
Oh,
he
shit.
played for the Ghost Inside.
That's
And it was-
wild.
Yeah, and it was at 9:30 Club because that was how big Attack was back then. It was
Fuck
insane.
yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
Goofy.
so I always respect the shit out of them for that because I was like, if you can play an easy core set and then play your hardcore set, then you're good in my book.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Word.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, well, let's jump into questions. I only have two for
Yeah.
today because nobody sent in fucking questions. So people send in fucking questions because I need them.
Yeah.
So we kind of touched on it a bit earlier, but what do you do when you have writer's block? How do you break the block?
I'll have an existential crisis for a few hours and then give up. No, I don't know. I feel like for me, I either do that or I have like multiple different projects that I do. So sometimes I'll just like, if I can't write,
That
like if I'm
helps.
trying to write a Pulses song, I'll just be like, cool, I'm gonna go. I can't write this right now. I'm gonna go write one of my like solo songs, or vice versa, or like I'm gonna go make a beat instead.
Yeah.
So I'll do that sometimes. Sometimes I'll just like listen to a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really beat it most of the time. Most of the time I just give up. So.
I'm the same way. I freak out that the creativity, whatever exists in my brain, is just no longer there. I've tapped it out, and I freak the fuck out, and I overanalyze everything, and maybe like a week or two later, or even months later, something will pop in my head. I'm like, all right, sick, it's back.
I think it was I'm pretty sure it's like I can't remember like a direct quote. I think it was Rina Sawayama, who also is just like
Genius.
like said like when she gets writer's block, it's like you're dipping into the well of creativity, writing things, and when the well is empty, you have to fill it back up. So it's just like when you get writer's block, you just gotta stop. You can't like try to keep dipping into an empty well. You gotta go do something.
Yeah.
So like when you have writer's block, and, like Matt was kind of saying, you go listen to other people's music, figure out what fills that creativity back up, or like what I think someone else said, I can't remember it, but I'm gonna tag it onto this one. You just go do something. So it's like you go to a show, you go bowling, you go
Find the
walk in a
inspiration.
park, just do something so that it fills your well of things, whether that be like just non-musical things or musical things, but at least you have something to like feel. So then you go back to writing, you're like, okay, now I have something to like lyrically write about, or like, I really like that it was really hot outside, so I'm going to write like a poppy summary song, you know, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like the best way to knock it out.
Yeah.
Mine's been so bad over the past like year and a half, and I think that's because I haven't been able to like go do things.
We're not living experiences in COVID.
That too. Yeah.
Like I literally have a whole solo record done instrumentally, and I have like maybe 4 songs with lyrics, and I might rewrite them just because I'm like, I don't know what to write about because I haven't done anything.
Sure.
So it's like, especially with lyric writing, it's like I can still get to instrumentals without, you know, having to go do stuff. But lyrics, it's like, nah, I need.
Because I know for one thing I'm doing now, because I'm definitely in a writer's block, you know, is I've thrown myself into like learning, doing mixing and everything. So that always keeps me feeling still attached to music. But at least with mixing, that's more of a like logical, systematic kind of way of doing music. So that's not as, I mean, it's creative, of course, but it's still not as like, you know, it's not the same as writing.
Yeah.
It's not as like open. You know?
Yeah, it's not as open-ended. Yeah, because there's a right and a wrong way of doing mixing generally.
Yeah, sure. I would absolutely concur with that. When this guy started teaching me more mixing and mastering things, it absolutely kept me in the realm of music, obviously, and 2, it expands how you think about writing for future mixing and mastering as well.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about not only what am I going to write, but how am I going to write it. And if you get those different cogs working, then it kind of gets the other ones working, and then eventually you'll find whatever you were lacking.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will say, if anybody is out there and you're struggling with writer's block, just take a fucking break. Your creativity has not dissipated. It has not gone away unless you had an aneurysm, God forbid, or some traumatic head injury. It's gonna come back. Just give it a bit.
I'm gonna like jump into that because I don't know if you know the music producer Toki Monster. She had a brain disease that like stopped her from like perceiving music correctly. Like
What?
she described about. Yeah, this is a weird thing. Like she has like a Pitchfork article about it if you look it up. But like it was just like she couldn't like write music because of like a brain tumor or something basically.
Wow.
And like so she got it removed and like had to like relearn to walk in music as far as just like understand how it works and like use a DAW and everything like that. And it was like the weirdest thing that like
That's
you can kind of be
insane.
fucked out of that like because of like a disease or like a an ailment. Like,
But now
whoa.
she's back into it?
Yeah, she's back into it, like full swing.
Let's
New
fucking
stuff
go.
sounds great. Still like works perfectly fine. And I think she's like, it's like in remission and everything like that. So
Sick.
it's just like the weirdest thing to me.
Well, there you go. Not even life-threatening diseases and shit like that can stop music from happening. So, yeah, your writer's block will fade. Just give it a sec.
Exactly.
100%.
Next question I only have 2, so next question. What kind of gear do you guys play?
Ooh. I feel like we don't talk about our gear that often.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, dog, I'm like the anti-gearhead. I just, like, I don't know shit. Makes me feel dumb.
Well, it's just like you playing like you're a stage kit now.
My stage kit is a Breakbeats Questlove kit.
Ooh.
Super cool.
I just like how small it is, so that helps with
It fits in
lugging
your
it
van.
around.
Yeah.
But it also is just like very like tight, punchy. It's mostly for hip hop, but like it works well in I think like the punk sphere because it's just like you want that like crisp like.
You want crisp and
Shit.
punch. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds sick.
I just saw
Yeah, it's great.
After the Burial before COVID, and their drummer, it's like death metal or whatever you want to consider it.
Yeah.
Metalcore. I don't know.
Progressive metal.
Yeah. But their drummer plays 2 18-inch bass drums. So like tiny
Really?
bass
Oh, wow.
drums for metal. I guess he fills them with pillows or whatever, but yeah, it's just
Yeah.
super punchy and
Neat.
yeah. His
I think-
kit's
isn't
really
the-
small. It's weird.
The Breakbeats kick is like 16?
16,
I think
yeah.
so.
16, yeah. So it's just like
Yeah.
That's
super
sick.
small, but it carries. It just works.
Nice.
That thing sounds sick. Like that might be my favorite kit you have, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
I
seriously.
love those. Those are great.
Nice.
what symbols do you use again? You use
Sabian.
Sabian?
All of them. Actually, yeah, all of them are Sabian, but like
Mhm.
mostly AAX and
You have the HHX ride.
yeah, HHX ride
Oh yeah.
20-inch, I think. But yeah, it's like I care about gear. I probably should care a little bit more. I think. I think. I'll be honest. Like I feel like we were like as a band up until like pretty much Speaking Into Existence released. We were like, I don't know if this is gonna be a thing. So like,
I
we're
get
not
it.
gonna like invest, I guess, or like it didn't matter as much. But now like we've pretty much like doubled in like attention since dropping that record, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm gonna care a little bit more now. You know?
I think, I mean, for us, personal experience, I think the more motivated and devoted you are to a particular thing, the more you're going to care about what you're actually using to create it.
Right.
And that goes for the gear we record with, that goes for the gear that we play with. Because I'm the same way, honestly. I've played in bands since I was 17, 16, and I never gave a fuck about what I was playing until until we started Hornbill, really. Because the first album was recorded on some shitty Ibanez 7-string that I've had forever, and like it's garbage.
Sometimes that hits though. So
Oh, yeah.
like
Sometimes,
yeah.
not our time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll jump into mine then because that kind of relates. Like I use, Caleb and I at this point basically have the same like live amp setup. We're using like the CR, what is it?
CR120. It's like the solid state.
I've
one.
literally only played through mine like twice because
So I've
But-
had that amp before. We were in an old band called Chrononauts in Maryland, and I used that amp, and I fell in love with that amp, and I fell in love with Orange. So
yeah, Orange is great.
but go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good. Yeah, so he has like an Orange cabinet, and I have like an Ibanez cabinet. I don't know why I really like the Ibanez cabs, but they're like I hate their guitars for the most part, but I like their cabs and their pedals, and that's about it. But yeah, so we use that. Our pedal boards are almost identical now too, like
Especially because we've condensed them.
yeah, we
'cause,
both
you know,
downsized for touring purposes, and it's like
Nice.
yeah, so it's like we both use the whammy drop tune. I literally can't play a set without it now because Louisiana
Same.
Purchase is pitched up 14 semitones, so I can't do that.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why I did that, and I'm kind of upset that I did that on our most popular song. But
it was necessary.
yeah, it sounds cool. But yeah, so we use that, and like both have a TS Mini and a all the basic stuff. But guitar wise, though, to kind of go off what you're saying, it's like I personally really like cheaper guitars for some reason. Like my main guitar that I play on like for most shows, honestly, is this Jaguar that's like it's like a $300-$400 guitar, like made in China, like not a great Fender, but it
Sure.
sounds incredible and it plays better than anything I've ever played before. And then I've been using this Sterling that's behind me a lot recently, which I'm gonna start using
Your
on
bass is a
shows.
Sterling, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Ernie Ball just makes like everything they make is good at every price point.
Yeah.
So I've been using that recently. I haven't played it at shows yet, but I'm gonna play it at the shows we have coming up.
Cool.
You want me to grab
But-
your guitar?
I mean, you can.
Which one?
But I-
do you grab?
Yes, I want you to grab that guitar.
Show it up.
Okay. Well, let's see. Let's start with the purple. Yeah. So,
I'm slowly turning Caleb into like a guitar collector. 'Cause,
yeah,
see,
because I had
got, like,
yeah.
I have a
'Cause-
shit ton of them.
So this
PRS?
is like my first baby, PRS. It's the like 30th anniversary.
Thank you for calling it a PRS and not a fucking Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah. You passed
Oh,
the
yeah.
test. It was a test.
That's too
and you
much.
passed.
That's too much. Too many words.
Too many syllables.
Yeah. But I appreciate that. But yeah, PRS. I've done like everything on my guitar, especially up to Bouquet. Everything
That's all
up
you
to
had.
Bouquet, including Bouquet, was recorded on that guitar.
Sick.
And then, yeah, so I love that one. That was like the first guitar where I really like honed in on my craft, I guess.
Sure.
More so, and actually started caring. That's where I first started writing shit. So that one's always means a lot. And then next one is my Saint Vincent.
Ooh, yes.
Nice.
So I love that
those.
shape because especially I like Saint Vincent. I haven't listened to her as much as before, but I remember especially like the self-titled Saint Vincent record. I liked a lot, and I like the shape of it too because I like kind of
Oh, yeah.
weirder shaped guitars, kind of generally.
I
so-
love that shape. That shape is like so comfortable. That's honestly that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite guitars like ever. Is that guitar just because it's so
For real.
unique and so comfortable to play.
And that's why I was almost mad because I was just like, yeah, everybody's loving it now. Because I remember getting it and then like nobody had that shit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and now everybody's catching on. But I mean, within good reason. Again, it's a cool design and it's very comfortable to play.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
then the white, and then the next one I've been playing a lot recently.
Ooh.
I got this from another guitarist in a local band last year, used for like a great price. So this is a Omar Rodriguez Lopez signature, and I haven't recorded anything on it yet. And I think I've only recorded like I've done some of our live stream events on with it, but I haven't played like an actual show with it yet. So I'm stoked, and I
Gotcha.
love playing that. So
It's a good
that's
looking one.
that's probably gonna be one of my next like main guitars for sure. And
Cool.
last, I got another PRS this year just because I was like, I love PRSs, so
Dude,
I was like,
Dude, so
I saw this shit.
yes.
I think we're spiritually connected in some way because I'm about to show you a purple and a pink guitar. So,
Yeah, that shit. I remember just seeing it online one day, and I was just like, nah, I have to get this.
He put it in our band chat, and he was like, "Yo," he's like, "Tell me not to get this," and I was like, "That was a mistake because you know I'm gonna tell you to buy that shit immediately."
Yeah, that's super
Lo and
pretty.
behold, he did.
So I can't wait to play out that one too.
Oh, purple! I need a purple.
Ooh.
so
Yes.
that's-
Ooh.
So this is the one of the newer Eddie Van Halen
5150.
Got that drop D
5150s.
tuner on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used
so
to have one that had that. It's so nice.
this is a 6-string. I play this in Derek Christensen's band.
Okay.
And this is like the best guitar I've ever owned in my entire life, and I will be buried with this guitar.
It's great.
And then this guy is the Hornbill guitar. He's an ESP Steph Carpenter model, the baritone, and he's just fucking gorgeous, and he plays
Yeah,
incredible.
I love
so
it.
Those are so sick.
I want one of the like
Love 'em.
Kelly shaped ones that he has. Like those
Yeah.
ones are so sick.
especially the one
I'm
that's like emerald green and sparkly. Those are
Yeah, the green
so
one.
pretty.
That one's great.
I
Get
can't
an emerald green dog. You gotta pull out the green one.
Where the green guy at?
I don't have a
Yeah,
green.
you want
one.
to see some? You want to see something green? Hold on.
Green.
The greenest green?
Bro.
You want to see the ugliest
No.
guitar you've ever seen in your entire life?
Is that a D?
Shit. This thing- I don't know
Jackson?
why-
Or is
yeah,
it Jackson
it's a
D?
Jackson. It's a
Okay.
mini.
Mini,
It doesn't stay in tune. It doesn't sound. It sounds okay actually. It just doesn't stay in tune. I was gonna use it for like a music video or something, since Speaking into Existence was all green. And
Sure.
Then, just never did. So
Gotcha.
Well, you never know. We could still do a video for that.
yeah. So I need to get a purple guitar though. I just realized I don't have one, and now that's gonna be my next purchase.
Purple
So,
guitars are a
thanks for that.
necessity. I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I have
real.
I have a pink one back there. It's kind
I do see. It's like bubblegum pink.
Isn't that like the Tom DeLonge
Well, it's like
type beat?
it's
It's
one
a,
Santino,
so
man.
yeah, Santino from With Sales Ahead built this. It's like a Squire body, and then he put all the hardware from like a Tom DeLonge
Nice.
guitar in it, and got like a replacement neck and everything. And
Cool.
then he sold it to me, and it's sick. I love that thing so much.
Nice.
Super
Didn't you record a lot of Speak Less with that?
I recorded all the distorted guitar on Speakless except for As a Treat is with that. And then I did all the
Very
clean
cool.
guitar with a Duosonic that I used to have that I don't have anymore.
Word.
All right.
So
What do you
Here.
do? Mapex Saturn?
Yeah, Mapex Saturn kit. That's,
Nice.
Yeah.
Apex is very solid.
have you guys tried that one out yet? The Makepex you guys just got? Kevin?
No,
I haven't actually.
it is sitting under that.
Yeah, we got like a bunch of pieces. I don't know. There was just one day our uncle was just like, "Yo, I found all this like stuff that a music store is throwing out. You want me to send it to you?"
All this
We're like,
stuff.
all right, sure.
All right.
And it ended up being just like a very it's gonna be a Frankenstein kit. It's got like Mapex
Hell yeah.
toms and stuff, but it's got like a CNC floor tom too.
Okay.
So it's like we're gonna turn that into like our like studio kit. Like you guys had like keep the studio kit and then set up all the mics and just keep it, set up
Just keep it
for
going.
whenever we're trying to do stuff.
Yeah, that's the best way. It's
Word.
very
All right.
good to have.
Well, thank you, only 2 of you for those questions. Send me more, please. God damn it.
I feel like we do Q&A sometimes, and like sometimes we'll get a lot, and then other times it's just like we get nothing, and it's like I know David did one the other day, and he got like 1 response, and he was like, "Man, what the fuck?" Like,
I was mad. There was one time we tried to do a Q&A on the Instagram story, and it was like a fan of ours like put up a picture or sent us a picture of his dog with the Speak Less vinyl in front of it. I'm like, this is the best shit ever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were like Q&A off of this, and nobody responded. I'm like, fuck y'all.
yeah. I feel like the one time we did really well was when we did a week where like each of us took a day, and then Taylor, Kevin's girlfriend, who's like our band mom, took another day. So it was like, so we got a lot
Dope.
of questions that week. But
Cool.
Other than that, people don't.
Should
People
probably
don't.
do
We
that.
haven't done one of those in a while.
We should do that again.
Yeah,
It
y'all
was-
should
it was
do it.
fun. Yeah,
It's a cool and it's fun,
yeah. And with that, it's like people asked like more pointed questions, I guess, because they could ask different people different things.
Yeah.
Or like
Knew what
ask,
was happening.
or ask everybody the same question and get like 4 very different answers. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I feel like I responded to one of those. I don't remember what it was, though. It was a while ago. All right, on to segments.
Yeah.
This fucking rules. What rules for you guys this week? Let's just, we'll go around the room. Go for it.
All right. You want to do Kevin first?
What rules this week? Last week, well, I guess this week it just started, but I'm gonna
Recently.
include this weekend.
yeah,
This weekend was sick. We went to Busch Gardens, like me, Caleb, Matt,
Sick.
and a few of our friends, and it was sick. It was good to
Yeah.
just be like out and about doing something, kind of like what we were talking before, like
Yeah.
writer's block kind of killing you because you're not doing anything, and we actually did something for once. So
Hell yeah.
it was really nice.
Yeah, I would say pretty much the same. Like you said, it's just like I didn't even realize until I got home. I was just like, oh, I hadn't thought about any Twitter shit. I hadn't been on TikTok or
It's
nothing,
great, isn't it?
or anything. I was just like, I was actually in the moment for once, and I was like experiencing life, and
Again.
I felt rejuvenated for once because, yeah, I hadn't been on no sort of vacation even past before COVID.
Hell yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, same. I feel like just because we all 3 just did that. That's the problem.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's super cool.
But that was a good time. And it
What's
has
your-
me like just really looking forward to Blue Ridge because like some of the same people are going, but it's just another like we have an Airbnb for like 6 days or something like that.
Nice.
Hang out. And,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm like ready to be social again. So
Dig it.
and especially play a show on top of it, and
yeah, and see some
100%.
yeah.
What rules for you?
It rained today. And
It did rain today!
It's not a billion fucking degrees out here.
It's the first time it's rained in like a good rain in,
Like
I mean,
2
since April, I think you got
Yeah.
here.
Jeez.
Oh man.
Yeah, that sounds refreshing as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't like roasting in my car. It was fantastic.
Nice.
See, it's just like the context is lost on us just a little bit, over here.
Yeah,
right.
that's the one thing I miss about the East Coast, man, is just rainstorms. We just don't get it out here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah. What rules for you?
I did this before I got the question, but that EVH guitar, that fucking rules. So we've been playing shows with Derek, and I've been playing that guitar, and it's the best. I love it.
Sweet.
Like
That's awesome.
I'm going to be buried with it, and and
Make
just
it happen.
yeah, I don't care.
It's like that feeling is unmatched for real when you just feel like locked in with your instrument.
Mhm. That's why I'm with
It's-
that Jaguar. It's like
Oh man, I am throwing that fucking thing around, and I'm hitting people with it, and like it's staying in tune, and it's just perfect. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, this fucking sucks. Caleb, what sucks?
Coming back home from having a good time. Because God damn it, I'm back on that grind.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta come back and do this 10-hour day.
Yeah. That's
Kevin.
That's a pretty big one.
Same? Is it gonna be the same for all three of you?
Pretty much. I mean,
I get it.
Capitalism sucks.
Capitalism does fucking suck.
I was gonna say I got
Just to say
$12 in my
something
bank
different.
account right now. I got $12 in my bank account right now. I'm
Oh, no.
That does suck.
That sucks.
Yeah.
But I get paid tomorrow, so that's fine. But
That's good.
right now it sucks. That's my
What fucking sucks?
Going back to work today sucked.
Yep.
Yeah. Fuck that.
He didn't even have a long weekend. It's just a normal week.
Yeah, this was
Just work. Sucks.
work sucks. Yeah.
I wrote people not getting vaccinated.
That
That
really
fucking
does
sucks.
suck.
big,
Yeah.
big,
It's like, I will say this just to add on to it. So I work in Arlington for their vaccination clinic.
Oh wow.
So I'm seeing it day in and day out. Well, luckily enough, I'm seeing people that are actually coming in, but just like seeing our numbers dwindle a lot. Like we were pushing like 1,000 people a day at the peak, and now we're barely getting like 45. So I'm just like, come on, y'all, please.
Please.
It's,
If you are listening to this and you are not vaccinated, fuck you. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Like,
I'm willing to bet that anybody who's going to be listening to this and anybody who likes yours and our music is willing to get vaccinated because
yeah, hopefully.
unless you have a medical reason, that's
Yeah, if you have a valid reason,
that's
then
okay.
That's fine. But
but
it's got to actually be valid. It can't just be like some bullshit.
oh, I don't like wearing a mask. No. No, if you can get vaccinated, get fucking vaccinated. It's free. Just get off your bullshit and suck it up.
Yeah.
Do you see people with polio walking or wheelchairing around? No, you don't. Because they got vaccinated. Get fucking vaccinated.
True.
Yeah. We have like, I mean, none of it's announced, but like we have plans for the rest of the year that if people continue to not get vaccinated are potentially going to get fucked up. And if they get fucked up, I'm gonna be a very angry person.
And you're allowed to be selfish about this too, because we've been stuck in our fucking homes and apartments for the last year and a half. Like, fuck it. I want to play music, get vaccinated so I can do it. So you can enjoy it too.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Recent jams. Caleb, what you been listening to the last day or two?
Vince Staples self-titled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Staples.
I love that record like a lot. Like probably it's hard because there's been some good ass albums coming out lately, which I'm stoked about because I don't know what it was for me. Like last year, nothing as much hit me too much, but I also didn't just listen to enough probably. But yeah, this year's been going great. Vince Staples self-titled has been just on repeat.
Hell yeah. Kevin, how about you?
Since he said Vince Staples already, because that's pretty much been on repeat for me, I'm gonna say Hiatus Coyotes, Mood Valiant has been crazy good.
I
Like,
have not heard of them. I have to listen to them.
they are from Australia. They're like a neo soul kind of group.
Neo soul jazz fusion.
Jazz fusion, like four
Interesting.
piece. Front woman is Napalm, excuse me, and she's got like the most like soulful voice. It's just like it's really cool stuff, and like the band backing her up is just like they're super tight, like really cool bass tones, really cool like drum pieces, like drum fills and things like that. I honestly recommend it, like highly recommend it if you just like music. Period. Like it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Like you're gonna enjoy it. It's just like
Hiatus
just very
Coyotes.
vibey, stuff.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, totally worth it.
Sick.
I mean, who Kendrick sampled her before.
Kendrick and Drake.
Has sampled her before, like for like some of their songs. So it's just like it's really cool soul music.
Interesting.
I dig it.
How about you, Matt?
I was looking through my Spotify. I've been listening to. I've only listened to it once, but I'm going to be listening to it more in the next few days. That new Chunk Captain Chunk album.
Oh yeah, true.
Okay.
That is a good record.
And I
Still need to
never
play it.
liked that band, to be honest. I only liked like a few of their songs here and there. And then
See,
the singles
I've
for
never
this
been a
record
big
came
fan
out.
of them, so I'll have to check that out.
that's the same. And then like that first single came out, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of sick. And then the next single came out, and I was like, this is good too. And then the third single had like AJ from the Dangerous Summer on it, and it was like really good. And I was like, fuck, I think I like this band now. So
Like, I think
That's
for me,
okay.
at least with
Yeah.
that record, just because I really love it too. It's like, for some reason, the scene kind of felt like, or at least like a lot of music coming out in the scene, kind of felt like really calculated and like contrived in a way where it's just like art and, you know, visuals that match the art, and it's just like we're epic, and like, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that because epic music is epic. That's the whole point of like the
Yeah.
description. But like this Chunk record is just like,
so fun.
just it's a vibe. Like let's fucking easy core, breakdown, random
Yeah.
scream, super pop chorus,
Yeah.
and like we're talking about just having good times, and like I love this girl, and like things like I just want, like, you know, like music to be simple sometimes. So
I get it.
It kind of came out in a time where like I felt like everybody was like trying to make this artistic statement, and they're just like, hey, good vibes, bro.
And
It's
then I
also,
know
like,
at least
sick.
I haven't listened to the record yet because I'm looking forward to it, but I've listened to like all the singles leading up to it. It's like what I got from it was it felt like it harkened back to those days where, you know, earlier in their career when they were first starting, in a way that, you know, you got some nostalgia to it, but it's modern still, and they didn't skip a beat for it, and but like nobody else is really doing it right now.
Mhm.
But you get the nostalgia factor of it, but not in a way where it's solely based on that.
Damn, we talk a lot. I just got the 5 minute call.
Yeah.
man.
So
Yep.
let's run through these real fast.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
5 minutes. Kill it.
This what the hell are we talking about? Recent jams. What have you been listening to?
The new Turnstiles.
Yes.
I don't know if you guys are
those
familiar.
are all
Yeah.
sick. Super
Yeah,
sick.
they released it in like a super unique way where they did like that 12-minute music video where it's like the 4 songs.
It's sick.
Yeah.
And then they end
Yeah.
up just releasing them, and it's like part of their new album, and it's. I love
I'm
it all.
so
I'm
so
obsessed.
excited for them. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna blow up.
Oh yeah,
100%.
they already are. They're killing it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they're good.
I
Baltimore's
wa-
are like second home. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I watched and listened to the Limp Bizkit Lollapalooza set twice today.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I've been fucking amped.
They're on
May-
Blue Ridge. I'm so excited.
Are they? Yeah.
I'm so
That's
excited.
sick.
Like they're another band that they're just like having fun with it at this point in their career, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like just
Dude, so
hit that dad fit. Let's go. Like I'm ready.
small tangent. We don't have to talk about it, but Derek's show this past Saturday, we covered break stuff, and I did the vocals for it, and it's like the most home I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's just meant to be.
They fucking-
Love that for you.
I woke up with this. What have you woken up with in your head that is just there? Caleb.
What did I?
that's like a-
I know I had something in my head this morning.
like a song or like a
Anything.
what? Okay.
Mainly a song. Typically,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know.
I
Like,
got
up-
one just
Go for
for to keep it moving. I got that In the Morning song. They only have one song, but that one has been stuck in my head.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Sugar Ray. Every,
No,
oh, that's every
it's
morning.
just- it's this like new pop punk band.
Okay.
They're from California,
LA.
I think. LA, yeah.
Sick.
They're really good. I mean, I hate saying this because they're a band with a girl singer, but like they do sound a lot like Paramore, and they are named after.
Boo! How
know.
dare you?
I know. I hate it. Like,
Well, to be fair, it's like I
they're
checked out their website, and they say it on their own website.
Yeah.
So it's
no,
like if they're gonna be down with it, that's the
All
only,
right.
that's the only way.
I
that
would
you
never
can
say it otherwise, but like literally their band name is a Paramore song, and I'm like, all right, like spelling and everything. So I'm
As
like,
long
all
as they're about it.
Someone
Yeah.
is doing firework.
right. Oh,
Why? Anyway,
But yeah, that song's really good. Go listen to it.
Yeah, I had an Olivia Rodrigo song in my head this morning, so
nice.
That's I'm with it.
It's catchy.
I'm proud of it.
Now I think
Any-
about it, I probably had Everything I Asked For by The Main.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah, you've been listening to that a lot recently.
Great band.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah,
band.
shout out to the main.
Yeah, mine is definitely Law of Averages by Vince Staples. Always stuck in my head.
Sick. Shinfo, I'm just gonna go because I have it right here. I started a straight edge hardcore band with some buddies, and it's gonna fucking rip. It's called Snake Eyes.
Nice.
Let's go, Caleb.
Lincoln.
Shinfo.
What is that?
Shinfo.
What?
Oh, Shinfo. Sorry, I should have shitty info that is not pertinent to anything.
Oh,
But you just have to tell
okay, shit. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I go bowling and shit. I haven't been in a long time.
Perfect Shinfo.
Perfect. Yeah. That's great for you.
Yeah, 180 average. Come at me.
Damn! I'll go with you.
I got some real stupid. I have a fucking curved toe, and it's a genetic thing in my family. So my cousin has one, my aunt has one. So yeah, it's like my middle, or I guess if this was the 5 toes, this toe is just like sits like that.
All right,
Like,
you got a hammer toe.
Yeah, I love it though. It's my favorite toe. I might get a toe ring someday if I feel like being a toe model or a foot model or
I
whatever.
sell some feet pics.
Yeah, sell some feet pics, OnlyFans, whatever, you know.
Matt, Shinfo.
Oh fuck. I'm just gonna go off of Kevin's. My middle toe looks like ET's finger. Just roll with that. That's all I got. I can't think of anything.
Shinfo.
We only have a minute. So that's
Under a minute.
Shinfo.
I'm gonna have to create another call.
My
Yeah, I know.
yeah, that's fine. You can do
It's
that.
all good.
Hurry up, Shinfo. Under a minute.
Shinfo, my foot has a really high arch, and people think my foot is broken.
It does look weird.
It's super weird.
It's like a triangle.
Yeah.
I love how this became a feat.
Now I got an extra one. All my toenails. I can like rip off toenails like easily.
That's fucking weird.
God.
That's the weirdest shit.
All right, I'm calling you. This is dwindling down. I'm gonna send you another link.
Okay.
All right.
God damn it.
We back.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
So we only have the one thing left, but give somebody credit. Matt, go for it now that you're on the top right of my screen.
Damn. Give somebody credit. Let me think. Who's killing it right now that I can shout out? I'm just going with the easy answer. With Sales Ahead, they're the best band in the world. Go listen to them.
I might have actually found you guys through them because I was following them for a while.
They're the best.
And
We
yes,
literally
they
talk
are
to them
great.
every day. Like we have our group chat from the tour we did together, and it's even more active than it was.
Yeah, it's like that.
That's awesome.
We toured with them in September 2019, so it's almost 2 years since then. We still talk in the same group chat
Love it.
every day.
That's so cool.
Caleb, who are you giving credit to?
I gotta give credit to shout out to Hansel.
Yeah.
These
Nightlife.
guys in Nightlife. They put out their 3-song EP and just absolutely killed it, like right from the jump.
Hell yeah.
Even I was surprised. I'm like, damn, y'all are getting big as shit, like,
Yeah.
off of this. So it's just like, for real, it's very good, and seeing their growth has been just like inspiring for us because we're just like, all right, well, we gotta put out some good shit next time then.
Hell yeah. Kev, how about you?
Mine is gonna go to Fall 50 Feet. They're
Oh.
Yes.
band out in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Fucking ripping, and like
Holy
that record is just
shit.
it's crazy good. Like it really is definitely gonna be one of my favorites for the year. They already got a Hate 5-6 recording, which is sick.
Yup.
Like that's just like our dream, like little dream. Like it's not like my fronter thing because we're not like a hardcore band, and I know he does all that mostly, but
Yeah.
like to have that kind of backing like from somebody like Hate 5-6 that's like very important to like how the scene just works and just exists. Like
Yeah.
I love him as a person. Just aside, he can get a shout out too, honestly. 'cause he's just
Absolutely.
fucking cool as shit. But yeah, that band, All 50 Feet, they're gonna be doing some things for sure. I can tell.
Definitely got to play some shows with them. I know they've like talked to us about it a little bit, like just on Twitter, but I want to play shows with them.
And it's
man.
nice that they're actually like,
They're really
close to
nice.
us, because that's what
yeah.
happens too often is we're like, yo, that band, y'all are cool as shit. Oh, you're in fucking Washington State?
We can't ever play.
All right.
Yes. Dude, that is the one thing that has upsetted me about starting Hornbill out here was like I wish we were back east because everything is so condensed and everything is just it's so dense with like talent and fun and not to, like we wouldn't be playing in Derek out here, but I don't know.
Bro, I moved here for you.
I know you did, but
I was gonna say it's just like I'm sure we feel the opposite. It's like, damn, I wish we were out in California. Y'all look like y'all are having a good time all the time. Y'all got so much talent there.
Yeah.
Everything is
Especially
just
our genre. Our genre is
Yeah.
very like Sacramento focused. I know, like, yeah. So we definitely got to get out there.
Yeah, everything is so spread out here. Like Salt Lake to the nearest city is Vegas, and it's 6 hours, and like that's DC to freaking Boston, 6 hours, or lower Massachusetts at that point.
Like that.
Like it, yeah, it's goofy, but it's cool out here. We just wish there was more, but
Right.
we're making it happen.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's like if we ever get over there, you know, obviously.
Yes, you are more than
We're
welcome.
linking up.
Yeah, you have a place to stay always. So,
That's
Bless.
likewise.
Yeah, if you guys come out here, for sure, we'll make it work.
fuck yeah. Give someone credit.
I'm giving credit to Fred fucking Durst.
Hell yeah.
That's literally what I wrote down earlier. I wrote that down.
But you said Derek.
Fred fucking
No, I'm not. Fuck Derek.
Fuck yeah. Fuck Derek. I know he's listening. Fuck Derek.
Fuck Derek. Fred Durst, bringing back Limp Bizkit, however many years later, and they're fucking headlining festivals now and playing with Spirit Box and Relevant again, and I love it. And he's rocking that new dad look with his long fucking hair.
Exactly.
I love it.
That
Love
picture
it
of him and Courtney.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Life.
That's
Iconic.
iconic scene moment for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Two of the best.
I am going to give credit to Courtney Lane. They are a local a pianist and musician out in Salt Lake. They opened for Derek on Saturday, and just fucking phenomenal. I don't know how they are not world renowned, and have you ever heard Lady Gaga play live, or like seen a recording of her play live, and how fucking talented she is? That is Courtney Lane.
Yeah.
That's all I can say is it blew me away.
Yeah, it's
And they do not get enough credit.
yeah. They said it like
Yeah.
keyboard vocals are like Christina Aguilera and like just ripping like the whole
All right.
time. It's so
I mean,
good.
it's like if you're just gonna compare to Christina and Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
those are
It
two
holds
queens
up.
right there.
It
Like,
holds up, yeah.
Like
It's that
I wish I could say I was exaggerating, but I'm
Right.
not. They're
That's it.
that good.
Yeah, for sure.
Find their Instagram page.
It's _Courtney.
Yeah, _Courtney Lane, and just phenomenal. Watch the live videos. Watch the. I'm just gonna go on and on. So support them.
Awesome.
They are the best. But yeah, that's what I had. That's really all we have to go over. We're fucking 2 hours into this. I'm not gonna do a let's listen party. People have listened to us shoot the shit enough. So what I do want to do is thank you guys very much for being willing to jump on this.
Absolutely.
I wanted to do it to kind of meet everybody who I've met over the last year or so on Twitter and Instagram, and just kind of, like I said, I just want to kind of pick everybody's brains because everybody is so spread out and we don't really have the opportunity to catch you guys touring through Salt Lake or even Denver or Vegas or something like that.
right.
So not only has this been awesome, but it's been, I don't know, again, I'm going to fucking compliment the hell out of you. It's inspiring because you guys started small and you're in the same realm as us somewhat, and it gives me hope that there's room to grow and there's things to be done and had, and
Of course.
love you guys. So thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So much.
Yes, it's been a blast being on, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Y'all are great people, and that means like
Appreciate it.
it's like the
Likewise.
music is great, but when the people behind it are just as good, like it matters to me.
This is actually all a big psych. DIY Twitter. Fuck you!
We're beefing now.
Goose Core beef! I'm using that from now on, by the way. So
Discord, with it.
Discord.
Yeah.
Let's plug away here quick. Blue Ridge Festival is coming up.
Yep.
When?
September 9th to September 12th.
Yes.
We have recently been moved to the first day, so September 9th. Please
Okay.
come as early as possible because we will be, I don't know if we can announce the time yet. I don't know if we can announce which stage yet.
I don't care.
Blue Ridge isn't going to listen 2 hours into this. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why necessarily, but so we were going to originally play on like the Rise and Act sponsor stage. I don't know. We were going to play like first or something. I don't know what happened. Apparently we're playing main stage now, but we're first up on the main stage. We're literally going to be like opening up the festival now.
You know that's where people are going to go to the second gate's open, though.
Hopefully.
You're going to catch
their spots and just chill.
You're going to catch a lot of people as they come in, but
They're going to run in and hear us talking about juice and shit. And be like,
It's like, Juice? What the fuck is this? I want Frank and Benjamin.
That's so sick.
I need to hear songs about tearing down walls and overcoming and rising up and, all this.
Yeah. Juice, Xbox, other things.
But yes, so we're stoked
awesome.
on that. Playing main stage, that's going to be sick. So yeah, catch us first main stage, first day of the festival.
oh yeah, that's sick.
I'm
And
pretty sure
there's
it's sold out, so at this point,
Yeah.
can't get tickets. But if you're going, catch
that's
us.
nuts, dude. I'm so pumped for you guys. That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
And then you mentioned it earlier. There's nothing announced, but there is stuff for the rest of the year. Touring
we'll be
and
around.
music releases. I'm assuming both.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sick.
those re-records we were talking about will be out in the next, within the next month or two, I'm sure.
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
And Tours are happening. They're just secret right now. But
Can
going to new places
you
and stuff.
can you let me know if there's a stop within
4 hours.
within the geographic region of Utah?
I don't think there is right now, unfortunately. We need to get out there.
Okay.
What's the closest? Are we hitting like Kansas? That's
We're hitting, we're hitting Oklahoma.
and Texas.
yeah, that's like the closest.
Right.
Yeah.
I am not driving through Kansas ever in my life ever again. So
Yeah.
Don't blame me.
Kansas is
But
the
yeah,
worst state
we're
in
doing.
the country.
We got two little things planned. One with a band that we are really close with, and one with a band we've never talked to before. So both of them should be
Sick.
cool.
very cool. All right, well, I'll keep an eye out, and definitely let me know. Obviously, if you guys are coming close.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Absolutely.
wanna come
We'll
see
make
you.
it very much known if
Yeah.
we're heading over to that side of the country because
Sick.
that's a stretch goal. We would love to get out there.
It's always on our mind too. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I know people say all the time, it's like, oh, we're gonna go there. It's like, no, we actually really do want to go.
We're gonna do it.
It's just figuring out the
It's just a matter of
logistics
what- yeah.
behind it all and the time.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the goal too, I mean, likewise, but vice versa. With Derek, we're trying to do East Coast stuff, and obviously we'll hit you up, and
yeah.
For sure.
it's
If
exciting.
we're not playing with it, we'll be there
We'll be there.
just to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, well, obviously, go listen to Pulses, period. And
right.
again, thank you guys for coming on.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Very pumped, and I think that's a good spot to end it. Thank you for listening, and we will catch you on another episode of the Hornbill Podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for nothing.